In an area known for its cattle ranching and hay production, the Blue Lake Ranch is an anomaly. Its proprietors, Dave and Shirley Alford, grow and sell flowers, and every June they share their harvest during their annual iris sale. The farm harvests literally thousands of rhizomes that produce blossoms of every color in the rainbow, and local gardeners descend on the ranch like bees to blossoms to get their pick of plants. David Alford is the flower farmer behind the Riot of Color, and his love of flowers began when he was a boy.
Grew up in Buffalo, New York, and spent the summer on my grandparents' farm on Lake Erie outside of Buffalo. And my grandmother was a huge gardener, and it just was such a magical experience. And I think probably my greatest memory was those armloads of peonies, and being a little kid and just standing on my tiptoes with those huge bouquets just sort of cascading down and smelling that smell, and I think that's how I got hooked. About 19 years ago, Shirley took me to Long's Garden in Boulder, which was this beautiful old iris business. And Mr. and Mrs. Long were in their 70s at the time. And I just thought, and they were just out there working, and he was on his tractor, and I just thought, I just want to be like that. And these iris were so beautiful. And they had an area where they were selling iris for $4 that were unnamed. And Mrs. Long said, yeah, sometimes we mislabel or we aren't really sure, so we put them all here. And we sell them for $4 each. And I said, well, thinking maybe they sold 500, 600. And I said, well, how many of those did you sell last year? And she said, oh, I think about 16,000. And I went, 16,000 times 4. And I thought, I can do that. And on that same week, we had gone to see a wonderful old guy named Jack Durrance. He was an old radiologist up in Denver, a friend of Bill and Mickey Thurston's from up in the valley. And they said, if you're interested in iris, this is the guy you need to talk to. He ended up passing on his collection to us. 40 years of hybridizing. So there's my story.
Alford specializes in heirloom plants, and his crop includes more than iris. His fields are covered with peonies, aster, petunias, and poppies, and each of the flower families has a story behind it.
About 15 years ago, Shirley and I went on top of Kennebec Pass and collected native columbine seed. And you can see the bed right over there.
The provenance of Alford's flowers includes pioneering families and gardeners who have long since passed, but their gardening legacy lives on at the Blue Lake Ranch.
Luscious.